Lisa Live. This is today's country. Hamilton's 820 Jam.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Petty, and this is Health Radio that walks the talk. Welcome to the show. I was getting out of the house really early this morning, and I noticed there's a definite change in the air, and you can almost smell September sneaking up on us. Not really sure how I feel about that. Anyway, for most people, September is associated with back to school. Whether you're heading off to college, sending your kids to the first day of kindergarten, or you haven't been inside of school for several decades, it's a time of new beginnings. Always, everybody thinks of September as time to maybe start something new, and that could include getting back on the path to being and staying healthy. So for the next hour, we're going to focus on helping you kickstart your back-to-school health plan. I want to remind you to visit the website at lisalive.info to learn about upcoming guests and to listen to show archives. Sign up for the Lisa Live newsletter. You can purchase books there written by our guests. You could read articles by show experts. And remember as well, you can follow Lisa Live Radio on Twitter and Facebook. And in fact, we've got a great Facebook contest underway. First of all you need to do is become a fan of Lisa Live Radio on Facebook, then just listen to the show. You'll hear me reveal a Walk the Talk word of the week, and when you do, just send me a message on Facebook. The first correct answer wins John Gray's book, Venus on Fire, Mars on Ice. And we're going to start today with some health news. First of all, are you having your D for dinner? A 2010 study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research concludes that it matters when you take your vitamin D supplement. About 3/4 of us are deficient in vitamin D. That's not good, especially because vitamin D is linked to an amazing list of health benefits, including lowering your blood pressure, stronger bones, better immunity, and possibly even a lower risk of heart disease and certain cancers. As the summer sun starts to fade, make sure you're taking a vitamin D supplement. And the new research suggests that we should take it with the largest meal of the day, rather than with snacks or on an empty stomach. Scientists found, in fact, that taking vitamin D with a meal doubled the amount of vitamin D in your blood. So you might as well get your money's worth out of your supplements. And here's some more proof that food is better than drugs when it comes to staying healthy. Researchers found that eating more green leafy vegetables may reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by about 15%. Writing in the British Medical Journal, the researchers state that the results show that foods, rather than isolated components like antioxidants, are beneficial for health. And it supports the growing body of evidence that lifestyle modification is an important factor in the prevention of type 2 diabetes. And that's really big because diabetes affects an estimated 10% of the population. And finally, a new study by researchers has found that even light or moderately intense physical activity like walking or cycling can substantially reduce your risk of early death. Although researchers found that more activity is obviously better, the benefits of even a small amount of physical activity were very large in even the most sedentary group of people. That includes all of the couch potatoes out there. Science Daily reports that you don't have to be an exercise freak to benefit from physical activity. Just achieving the 30 minutes daily of moderately intense activity on 5 days a week reduces the risk of death by 19%. 7 hours per week or more of moderate activity compared with no activity at all reduces risk of death by almost 25%. According to Forbes magazine, more than half of adults don't get the recommended amount of exercise, and 24% are complete couch potatoes. The most common excuse people give for not exercising is lack of time, and we'll have to hear what today's guest has to say about that. Lisa Schilling is a registered nurse, a certified personal trainer, consultant, writer, inspirational speaker, and a fitness director. She's a passionate health advocate and shares her practical approach to living a lifetime wellness lifestyle by teaching people to appreciate who they are on the way to where they want to be. She writes a weekly newspaper column called Wellness Matters and is the author of the soon-to-be-released book, The Get Real Guide to Health and Wellness. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful here in Missouri.
Oh, that's great. I hear you had a storm last night.
We did, and so my phone line may be a little touchy, but we'll do our best to be heard.
Okay, fabulous. Are you getting lots of bad weather?
No, we just had a storm roll through, and as quickly as it came, it was gone. So hopefully we'll start to clear up.
Oh, fabulous. Now, Lisa, I just mentioned to our listeners that you are a registered nurse. And as a nurse, we don't really think of nurses as being focused on prevention. They're more about emergency care and helping us when we're sick. So what made you change your focus from caring for the sick to being more about prevention and health?
You know, I saw so many people come through the hospital that had preventable risk factors.
Right.
Things that if their lifestyle had been different, they wouldn't be there needing care. And I thought if I could reach them before they got here, hopefully they wouldn't end up here with these type of conditions. And that really spurred me to focus more on wellness and prevention and less on care after the fact.
Well, and something I don't think that maybe a lot of people are as aware of as they should be is, depending on the condition, 50 to 75% of chronic diseases like cancer and heart disease and diabetes are preventable if we just change the way that we live our lives.
Yes, that is so true, and many people, I think, are in somewhat of denial over that fact that there are some things that they could do with their lifestyle that would affect whether or not they'll come down with these very serious conditions.
Okay, now you call your book Get Real. What does REAL stand for to you?
Real to me is realistic expectations about life. Too often, I believe experts set the bar so high that people couldn't realistically stick with them. Many people try, and then they ultimately give up due to how difficult it is to maintain in their real hectic lives. So this brought me to the fact of saying, you know what? Get real. In the real world, there's going to be distraction, temptation, deviation, and all other kinds of things to knock us off track. My plan helps people use what they know about themselves to create a wellness plan they're more likely to stick to.
Okay, so maybe we should go take a step backwards a little bit and talk about your personal aha moment when the penny dropped and you sort of figured it out for yourself.
Well, I had faced years of the ebb and flow of yo-yo diets and weight cycling, and I found myself overweight, a mother of 3, a nurse, and a fitness trainer. And for me, I thought, I should know better than this.
Right.
But it brought me to the thought of also, just because someone knows the right things to do doesn't mean that they'll choose to do them.
Right.
And that's where my philosophy was born. We need to get real. Life was easier to maintain before I had a husband, 3 boys, a household, the job. But as my life changed, I lost the ability to maintain those high health and fitness standards. So I decided, I have a purpose to find out how to get back what I once had in this new lifestyle that I currently have. And I realized by helping myself that I would be able to help others who face similar situations.
So why is it that when we know what we should do, because most people know they should, move more and they should eat less and they should choose their foods more carefully. We know this, so why don't we do it?
I believe that most people truly have not examined their lives and found that big enough why. I always say for people to make real change, they have to find a why in their life that makes it big enough for them to change their current comfortable lifestyle. And that's one of the things I try to help them do through my book, is guide them to find their why. Why is it important for them to lead a healthy lifestyle? If we do it just to look better or just to be a certain size on the scale, most likely that why is not big enough for them to change their actual lifestyle. So I try to help people dig deeper and find that big why. And then I also try to help them find that motivation to continue to do that wonderful lifestyle for their lifetime.
Okay, so if you say looking good in a pair of jeans isn't a big enough motivating factor, what is? Give me an example of something that might resonate.
It's very personal. What I've found is that most people have unique identifiers of personal motivators. Some people are motivated by competition. In fact, in our community, I created a weight loss challenge. The first year we had 250 participants, and the second year we had 400 participants.
Oh, wow.
So it just showed me that actually competition and monetary gain was a motivator for some people. And in fact, those people had wanted to look better in their jeans for years, but hadn't actually done something about it until they had the contest. So that was something that got my brain thinking, okay, what are some other motivators for people? some people, it's that moment when they're in the doctor's office and the doctor says, you know what, if you keep living like this, you're not going to be here in 2 years.
That's common for men. I read a study that said for men, it's when the doctor says, okay, you know what, this is life or death now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for some people, that makes a difference. But for other people, they still continue with their negative habits. They have not tapped into their unique motivator yet. And in my book, I have some outlines for people to help track and figure out what it is for them. Because until they lock on to that, they're never really going to change those comfortable habits.